This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in New York. I am here with Pristine Advisors. Since 2010, this award-winning full-service public relations agency will make your mission appealing to investors, the media, analysts, and brokers to improve the growth and sustainability of any firm. I'm joined here with the founder, best-selling author, speaker, and marketing expert, Patricia. Thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. You have really 35 plus years of experience working with clients across the globe and across diverse industries. You have consistently delivered award-winning results. Share with us how your successful journey has led you here today to serve other companies.
Yeah, well, ironically, when people ask me, how did you get into this? It was, believe it or not, a job right out of school. It wasn't something that I looked to do, but I fell in love with it immediately because it's marketing. It's not like a receptionist who answers phones every day, a cashier who rings it. You really have no clue what your day is going to be until you open up your email in the morning. And it could be a good day, it could be a bad day, you're flying off the seat of your pants. So I fell in love with it instantly. And I love being creative. If you want to market somebody, I have to be creative. What can I do to make you better than everybody else? You have to become a household name. What do I have to do to make that happen? So I just love that. And been doing it on the agency side since out of school. I put myself through college, got my master's in this and just fell in love with it so much so that I bounced around. I stayed at one company for 16 years until they were closing their doors. Then I went to another company. Every client followed me, which I thought was a nice testament. Stayed there for 6 years till they were selling that company. And then I was like, all right, do I just bounce around again or do I just start my own company? Because I'm doing this for so long. I started my own company and every client followed me again. So some clients I've had for over 16 years, which I think speaks to the volume of what I do. The results that I bring them and the fees that I charge are not, astronomical compared to other companies. And I do IR, PR, marketing, and media relations, where some companies do one or the other. So you're getting the full package. So
absolutely. I mean, not every firm out there can give that full package like that. That is fantastic. I mean, in business, having a good reputation is crucial for individuals and businesses in today's world. Is it important to manage reputation effectively, maybe more so today than possibly ever before? And why would you say that is?
You know how they say no news is bad news, and that's not really true. You do want to have a good reputation. And people, especially nowadays, because there's so many scammers out there and everything's, deep fakes and all that stuff. People want to know that you understand them. So when you're marketing a product, say, for example, or a company, I've had, say, even on the investor relations side, where companies would say, well, we're the greatest in the world and people should just buy us. It's not about you. That's my biggest beef with everybody. It's not about you. It's about them, your audience, whether it's an investor, a customer, whatever. You have to say, how is what you have, whether it's a product, a stock, whatever, how is it beneficial to them? You have to think how they think. What is it for them? So, that's one of the approaches that I have. And, I tell people, say you have a stock and it didn't do good that month. It happens, but you have to be real and explain that to people. Was it because you messed up? No, it was because the markets, and explain how you're on top of that and you're doing what's in their best interest. So, I've done that to a lot of clients where people realize, okay, you're a real person, you're being honest, and that speaks volume. And really building that relationship where your reputation, people want to know that you have my best interest at heart, whether you have a product, whether you have a stock, whether you're a corporation, you sell shirts, doesn't matter. You're looking out for me. So I think reputation is huge, and you have to really build on that and keep on top of that.
Absolutely. I mean, honesty and being real. The consumers now have a very sharp eye. We're able to look through a lot of clutter out there and we know what's not real. Many times a company's really primary focus is on increasing profit, their bottom line. But can a good reputation, a good message, open doors to new opportunities and therefore also lead to increased revenue?
Yeah, if I have a company like, we'll just use Disney as an example. They are on top of everything. They're, surveying, people who visit the park. They want to know what you think. They have, online, tell us your beef. They want to know what you think. And in turn, you realize, okay, they care about what I think. And that's going to bring me back there more. Because if I tell you I have an issue, you're going to do what you can to try to rectify it. I'm just one of many. But the reputation is huge, and that can bring great ROI. If you have a business and you have shareholders and your stocks, like I'll give you an example. We had a company that was invested in the financials one time and the financials were tanking. Well, that portfolio manager didn't do anything. And other companies, they reshuffle the portfolio. It's just the nature of the game. Well, who's going to want to invest with you? You obviously weren't even paying attention. Did you not care that that's my hard-earned money that you're losing? So that reputation and again, knowing people want to know that they can rely on you in all circumstances. So that can in turn bring great ROI no matter what your business is.
I mean, many eyes are on a company today. I mean, deciding whether or not to get involved with that company, the public, investors, even potential employees. Is consistency in a company's message delivered through communication really vital to attracting and keeping these relationships?
Yeah, I mean, consistency for sure, because people look out for that. But also, you have to evolve with the times as well. So you want to have your core message and be consistent with that. But as the world evolves and you have to change things just to keep up with the times, your main message can't change. So if you have, say, Coca-Cola and you have this great soda and, it's the best tasting and blah, 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 now you have different flavors and, different celebrities endorsing. But at the end of the day, what is your core message? That message can't change. So, if you start changing it, it makes you seem unstable, it makes you seem like you have no clue what you're doing. People want consistency.
Absolutely. Even in your example of Disney, they've remained true to that core, which is the magic of the Magic Kingdom, but they have evolved throughout the years, which all companies have to do. Pristine Advisors is an award-winning firm that has built a reputation for providing a high-end experience in communicating a message. With over 3 decades of connections, can you deliver over multiple platforms from mass media to social media and really everywhere in between?
Yeah, I mean, that's just evolving with the times again. So say, depending on the company, I always say marketing is marketing. The only thing that changes is the story and who you're telling it to and how you're telling. So every new client I have, well, through the years, I've developed this immense database of various, whether it be investors, analysts, brokers, media, media on the retail or investors on the retail or institutional side, but then customers, are they in healthcare? Are they in technology? Are they in medical? Whatever. I've built this immense database. But then even seeing now, like we have a new client, okay, who's the influencers on that? Who's the media covering that? What are who are your competitors? What are they doing? Are you doing that too? What should we, so you have to just keep evolving. But, it really is, and it depends on the product. If you're a financial company, would you really be on TikTok? Probably not. But if you're a fashion company, by all means, so you have to know what platforms are out there, what's best for each particular client, what kind of message it is. Who would be the top people to put you in front of? Is it the teens? Is it the adults? Is it the senior? Is it the sports people? You have to, I think through the 35 years, you kind of learn the ins and outs of how to navigate through the world wide web of marketing. And, once you have the base for that, each client is different. You just start navigating the web again and it changes and you tweak it along the way. And, that's just how it works.
Interesting. Definitely customization for that exact client. I mean, you have assembled a team of enthusiastic professionals that have specialized in the execution of helping companies achieve brand recognition. Share with us just a few of the areas that these specialized teams maybe can help folks out there. Really a little bit of everything that you may offer.
Yeah, so I'll just use a recent one, for example. It happens to be a company that specializes in skincare. So depending on the team, so now I have a team specific for that. So this team has a background in the medical field. So dermatologists, for example, they would be very keen to skincare. Another person, they're also dealing with something relating to travel. I have one of the team members who used to actually work for a travel agency. They know all the ins and outs for all of that. If it's a financial company, have team members that are specialized in that, host events. They have databases of the institutional investors, retail investors. So the teams will vary depending on what the client is, but you want to try to bring the flavor of what the client's needs are and who has the most experience in them. And like I said, I've got team members for just about every niche out there. So sometimes they interlap, but for the most part, you want to make it specific to each individual client.
Because you offer so much, I can't imagine there's a company out there you couldn't help. I mean, financial communication, peer analysis, press releases, presentations, roadshow, and even event management. to the day in and day out strategies for social media. I mean, your team does it all fast and affordable. Is that something that you pride yourself on?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I set out to just do everything, but I found through the years, I always tell people, here's my entire brochure. Here's everything that I can do, but you pick and choose what you need. Because some people might have their own internal IR or internal PR, internal marketing, and I just work with them. But what I found through the years sometimes is that everybody's pitching a totally different story. They're not communicating. So you're kind of all over the place. And sometimes having that one point person is good. But I always say on the agency side, I still work on the employee of whoever hires me. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal. We want to see this company succeed. And I always say their success is my success. So I do it all, but I will work with anybody who has various teams, and that's totally fine as long as we're all on the same page and we're all, again, I'm not here to steal somebody's job. We all want to see this company succeed. And I do think it is unique because, like I said, I've known a lot of people in the field who only do one of the two. And it's kind of a crazy thing because for me, for years, people said, you sound like you're all over the place because you're doing like even website design and maintenance. Is that something because I had nothing else better to do? No, but when I had a financial company, I'm dealing with the tech person who doesn't understand how a financial person thinks. So I spend more time going back and forth with them, telling them where they should have it on the website because no one's going to spend 20 minutes looking for it. It gets to the point where it's like, you know what, let me just do it myself. So, I do work with anybody. I do a lot, but I think at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. This company has to succeed, and however it has to happen, whether it's through someone else or through me, happy to do it.
I think it's a very logical approach because all of those things come down to delivering that message, be it a website or mass media as well. In this age of information, the public and investors expect to stay informed. When preparing for important announcements, are you able to not only distribute the message, but can you even help create the content and deliver that message?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of clients that will say, okay, say for example, earnings release, I'll work with their financial people to get the financials, but I'll maybe put together the press release in a way that I'm on both sides. So I'm talking to your investors and the public, and I'm talking to the company. So I find out what it is they want to hear, what they're looking for, and I make sure that's all incorporated in the press release. Then we issue it over the news wires, but then from there, I've known companies who do that. They issue it over the news wires, and then that's it. There's more than that. You have to really pitch it out there. So even reporters, are you putting it in, because even that whole landscape's changed, but putting it in front of the media, putting it in front of, social media, and because everybody now is on groups and iWatches and iPads and, everybody's online. So making sure it's in front of every eye out there.
Yeah, I think the folks who coined the term that all PR is good PR, they probably didn't live in this fast age of data that we live in now. I mean, in broadcast, print, or social media, we know that content is king, but I see a lot of bad content. I mean, how important is story pitching and good storytelling in getting the right message across?
It's really important because, again, like I know somebody who did a press release recently, and people from my end were kind of like, but you're telling the story that you think people want to hear, but that doesn't really tell the story of how the public would want to hear it. Like I used to do perception studies where we'd ask the public, well, what is it, take a random press release. What about this did you get? Their message was what they got out of it was not at all what the company thought you were getting out of it. So you have to really tell the story in a way that your public wants to hear. So the storytelling has to be consistent, but it has to be, I always tell people, you focus on what you do best, run your company. Let me focus on what I do best. Let me put together something because I'm the middle guy. I'm working with you, but I'm working with your public, whether it be people, Absolutely. Customers, or investors.
I couldn't agree more, definitely. I mean, with the services you provide, you're freeing companies to do what they do best as you kind of promote them and send their message out there. Would you say your team goes the extra mile to achieve these communication goals by truly getting to know and understand your clients and their customers' needs so that you can deliver the best results?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a boilerplate thing where we just say, okay, here's everything, do that. We have conference calls, we have, Zoom meetings, whatnot, and we ask 50,000 questions because, everybody has a different background. So whether it's marketing, PR, IR, everybody has different questions. And, you can ask me, but it's better getting it from the source. Let's talk to the company, the CEO, their internal marketing team, and let's find out what they're doing already, what's working, what's not working. and what can we do to make it better? Because again, sometimes it is good to have somebody from the outside because you're too involved when you're on the inside. When we've dealt with companies like yours, we have a better understanding of what other people are doing, what's working, what's not working, and then we work with you to kind of bring it to the next level.
Excellent. You have expert people with creative ideas that can execute a fast-growing process in investor and public relations, marketing, and social media, and even raising capital if needed. So how do they get started with you? Is there a consultation on the front end? How does that work?
Yeah, it's basically we just have a call and we pretty much find out what it is you're looking for. Because sometimes what they are looking for and what they think the next step should be, I might have a different take on it. So we just have an initial call. We say, okay, you tell me what it is you're looking for. I tell you everything that I could do, and we'll see how we could work that together. And I'll give you my advice on what I think you should be doing. And then if all said and done, we just, sign a contract and we do, we work month to month.
Excellent.
But I always say it's not a 1, 2, 3 thing. It's a process,
Great. Patricia is the founder of this trailblazing agency. As a published author, as well as featured contributor across multiple media out there, you have secured your status as a thought leader in this industry by conveying your client's mission to precisely the right audience. Is this work rewarding for you, Steele?
I love it. It's one of those things, like I said, if I did the same boring job every day, I'd say I'm bored out of my mind. But I love this. And I love the creativity about it because no two clients are the same. Every day is different. And I love the challenge. What can I do to make you better than everybody else? Because your success is my success. So I'm not going to stop until you succeed in what it is you're looking to do. And for me, I'm like, that is just awesome.
That is excellent. I introduce entrepreneurs and companies every single day on TV. It's not every day that I get to introduce one of those who actually introduce those to the public. And so it's really been a pleasure for me. Once again, viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see their website, and you can see the many services they provide. With a network of over 800,000 targeted contacts, they empower companies on a global scale to position themselves effectively in front of the audiences that matter most to your success. Once again, that is Pristine Advisors, because building a successful company with a good reputation requires more effort than just making a profit. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.